Hi guys, hope everyone's still safe and well. Today we're starting the last couple of remote learning lessons before the summer holidays. Hope you found the ones you've done so far really beneficial. I've really enjoyed seeing the work that you've sent me, so well done. We've covered the range of topics, obviously some which we've studied quite a lot in school, some which we haven't. Today we're doing Pythagoras. You may have heard of it, but chances are you haven't studied it yet, certainly not in school. So hopefully I can explain it as well as possible and you will be able to learn a new skill today. So let's get my screen up now. There's Pythagoras. Okay, so Pythagoras' theorem. I'm going to show you a little diagram involving three squares just there, and that basically is the introductory diagram to Pythagoras' theorem for anyone and everyone who is first learning it. So as you can see there, the area of the 3 centimetre square plus the area of the 4 centimetre square equals the area of the 5 centimetre square. So 9 plus 16 equals 25. So that diagram basically leads me on to the formula that we need to know for Pythagoras. So the theory of Pythagoras is all about triangles, most importantly right-angled triangles. Okay, and the formula we need to know is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now it says on the right angle triangle, you can see there it's got a keyword of hypotenuse. Okay, hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle and it's equal to the sum of the other two square sides, other two triangle sides. Okay, now the hypotenuse is always the longest side, long diagonal side opposite the right angle. A and B can be any of the other two. Okay, A and B don't matter as long as when added together they're giving you the hypotenuse of C. So a quick work example. So find the length of the missing side. We've got a right angle triangle there. We've got 6 centimeters and 4 centimeters. So I'm going to go through this one with you. So label your sides A, B and C. A and B can be the two that we know. C is the side opposite the right angle, which is the one we're trying to work out. I will always recommend to anyone, whether you're in year 7 or year 11, write the formulas out first. If you're answering a question where you need to know a formula, write the formula out first. A squared plus b squared equals c squared will always be my first line of working out. Okay, now A is 4, B is 6, so 4 squared plus 6 squared now equals c squared. 4 squared is 16, 6 squared is 36, which gives us 52. So 52 equals c squared, but we don't want c squared, I only want c. Okay, I don't want the square number, I want the square root. Okay, so we're going to square root 52, and that gives us an answer like that. You will require a calculator for when you're doing your answers. And I'm going to round it to a sensible decimal place, which is 2, so that c gives me the length of 7.21 centimeters. Okay, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Substitute your values in, add them together and square root. And if you need to round it, we can at the end. Okay, next one then. Once again, we're finding c. So I would go label the sides and go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are 11 and 8. So 11 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. 11 squared is 121. 8 squared is 64. And add them together for 185. That gives us c squared. So what do we do to find out c? We square root 185. That is the, just there is the sign for square root on your calculator if you're not sure. And the square root of 185 to 1 decimal place is 13.6 centimeters. Now, a little way we can check we're probably right. Likewise on the first one, if I go back, that gives us 7.21 and the lines are 4 and 6. And on the next one that we've just done, is 13.6 compared to 11 and 8. C should always be the longest side. And on our two answers, we have got lengths that are definitely longer than the other two. So that kind of proves that we are right. Okay, so 13.6 centimeters there. Okay, your turn. Amber questions, 5 of them. Same skill for all of them. We are finding C. Calculate the length of the hypotenuse, giving your answer to 1 decimal place. Okay, so work your way through 5 of those. Use your calculator, write your formula out, and when you're ready to resume, I'll have the answers for you. Okay guys, so there's the answers on the screen now. We've got 10.3, 5.9, 8.5, 20.6 and 17.5. Okay, remember to use your units. So we've got a variety of centimeters, meters and millimeters there. And importantly as well, it states in the question, give your answer to 1 decimal place. So if you're 0.1 off either way, you've probably just rounded it slightly wrong. So make sure we master that skill too. So there's your 5 answers there. Any corrections, you can put it in red on your page. Okay, moving on to an actual exam question. A football pitch measures 105 yards by 65 yards. What is the length of this diagonal? Right, so those of us that are into football will know straight away a football pitch is rectangular. And I've told you that Pythagoras is right-angled triangles. So how do we get from a rectangle to a right-angled triangle? Well, I would recommend drawing it out. It gives us a football pitch measuring 105 by 65. It then asks us, what is the length of the diagonal of this pitch? Well, let's draw a diagonal line in, and all of a sudden, I've created a right-angled triangle. There. Okay. So, all of a sudden, we've got a squared and we've got b squared, giving us c squared. So have a go now. I've left it like that. You see if you can have a go at the remainder of that answer, and I will have the answers ready for you when you think you've got your answer. Right guys, so this is where you're going to need your calculator, definitely. First step is to label our sides, A, B and C. C being the hypotenuse opposite the right angle. A and B are 65 and 105, so we put that into our formula. 105 squared plus 65 squared equals c squared. Type that in on your calculator and add them together, and we get 15,250 equals c squared. Square root 15,250, and to 1 decimal place we get 123.5 yards, and that should be our final answer. Okay. Another one then, challenge question for you. Telephone mast is 7 meters high. A wire is connected from the top of the mast to the ground 2 meters away. How long is the wire? Okay, so that is your next question. I would recommend drawing it out like I done for you on the first one, and then follow your equation that you've been doing for the whole lesson so far. Okay, off you go. Answer coming up now then, guys. So we have a mast that is 7 centimeters high. We have a wire connected from the top of the mast to the ground that is 2 meters away from the mast at the ground level. So that gives us a right-angled triangle. We're now working out the hypotenuse again. So we label the sides, A, B and C. 2 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. 2 squared is 4, 7 squared is 49, add them together for 53, and square root it for your final answer. To 2 decimal places this time is 7.28 meters. Obviously to 1 decimal place that will give you 7.3. Okay. And finally, there are some extension questions. Okay, now I'm not going to put all of the answers to these on. I want you to show me the answers through email or through pictures to my email or on a feedback lesson, a feedback session, sorry, a drop-in. So they're your extension questions for the end of this lesson. Now, next lesson that I will pop up on the screen will also be Pythagoras, okay? Slightly different skill. So do these questions and then prepare yourself for the next lesson, and I will finish off at the end of the next lesson with my email to send me the questions, the extension questions and answers, okay? So have a go at these and then be ready to start the next Pythagoras lesson, and I'll see you then, okay?